What up? What up? What's cracking, my boys? Yeah, sorry about that. I was a little bit distracted right now. I was just wandering around, staring at. I was actually not staring at anything. That's beside the point, though. So last night I uploaded a video. I was trying to explain I guess like the two type of batteries that an RV has, at least the one that mine has. I'm not able to speak for all RVs. Um, I'm assuming or I'm thinking that all RVs are pretty much the same. Um, so yeah, I was just explaining my RV in particular, but I noticed that I left out certain important things. So I'm gonna try to go into more detail today, be more specific, and elaborate a bit more. You know. So yeah, so there's basically two type of batteries. You know what? I'm also gonna go in how an RV works, how you could live in it. If you have an RV and you're thinking about going off grid for whatever reason, or you're just thinking about maybe just boondocking, going camping with the kids or whatever your partner, you'll know what to do. You know. Um, so I'm gonna start by saying, what I explained yesterday, the two different types of RV batteries. So there's two different types. You know, um, there's the battery that's in charge of the motor engine. So that's what's that battery. As long as it's good, you're gonna be able to turn your key and ignite the engine. And that battery is just specifically just for that sole reason. Just to turn on the engine. It has nothing to do with anything else. So if that's the only battery that you have in your RV, and it's missing the rest of the batteries, and you want to use your lights, you want to use your microwave, or you want to use anything else that's not related to the engine itself, it's not gonna work. If that's the only battery that you have, the only thing that you're gonna be able to do is just turn on the RV. So and that's the thing, because the second battery is the one that's responsible for the rest of the things, for the amenities. So that's going to include, at least in my RV, that includes the lights, so the lighting system in the ceiling, and it's going to include the panel system that's mounted on the wall, so you could check your levels of your black tank, your gray tank, and your battery percentage level. And also, so you could activate your water pump for your water system, so you could wash dishes, you could wash your hands in the bathroom, you could take a shower, so the whole water system. And also so you could heat your water system, so there could be heat, you know so you don't have to take a cold shower, and also so you could use your microwave as long as it's plugged in. You're gonna be able to use the microwave with the battery, the second battery. And also for the fans, the vents, the fans that are on the ceiling, you could turn those on too. So that's what I'm able to use with my battery, my second battery in my RV. Now, if you want to use the power outlets, the AC outlets that are on the wall or whatever, those that's when the batteries are irrelevant. Neither the motor battery or the second amenities battery is going to be able to supply electricity to those outlets. So if you try to plug anything in the RV outlets, so you could get electricity and use your devices, nothing's going to happen. Even if you have both batteries and they're both fully functioning at 100%, nothing's going to happen. It's not going to turn on your device. It's not going to charge it up or turn it on, because those outlets, they're not going to have any power, because the batteries can't supply power to the outlets. In order to be able to use those outlets, the RVs, for the most part, what I think, I'm not sure, to be honest, I think that most RVs come in with the built-in generator, a built-in generator with the brand Onan, Onan. Or it could be a different brand. I'm not sure, but my RV comes with the built-in Onan generator. I think it's a 5500 watt one. So I think for the most part, all RVs come in with the built-in generator. So in order to be able to use those outlets, the power outlets, you got to turn on your generator. if you're not at an, assuming that you're not at an RV park hooked up to the, you know, with the hookups, electricity and the water and all that stuff, that you're just off grid, you're boondocking, you're just off grid, then yeah, you got to go to your built-in generator, turn that on, make sure that it's working. As long as it's working, after it's on and it has gas and everything, it should be able to supply electricity to all your outlets inside your RV. So that's how you can make use of those outlets. That has to do with the generator. And for some reason, if your generator, your built-in RV generator doesn't work, then that's when you're gonna have to rely on a portable generator. You know, one that not the built-in RV generator, but a portable generator. You know, one that you could buy at the store or whatever, at Harbor Freight or whatever. And you got to make sure, because the RVs have a plug. It has an electric plug. And it's a 3-prong one, so it's a big 3-prong plug. It doesn't look normal like any of the, you know, plugs that any of our devices have. It's a huge plug. The one that I have is a 30 amp. I think all RVs have different sizes, you know, depending on the size of your RV. It might be bigger than 30 amp. Like if you have a Class A RV, a huge one, like a 45 footer or above, it might be more than 30 amps. If you have a really small one, like that's maybe like a Class B, a 24-foot RV, it might be like a 20 amp or a 25 amp. The one that I have is a 30 amp. So yeah, you got to find that plug. And that 3-prong plug, you gotta connect it to an RV outlet. How do I say, that's equivalent to the power that your plug requires. Like for mine's, it's a 30 amp plug, so I have to connect it to an RV outlet that's 30 amp. You know, it's got to be equivalent. So that's what you got to do. If your built-in RV generator doesn't work, then you got to connect it to an external portable generator that has that RV outlet that has the sufficient enough amps that's equivalent to your RV plug. And then as long as you connect it and everything's good, then it should supply electricity to your whole RV. That's the way I was doing it initially in the beginning. I just did it a handful of times, like 2 or 3 times. At one point, when I just first got the RV, I tried turning on my generator, and it almost seemed like it wanted to turn on, but it's a bit rusty because it's, you know, the RV is already kind of old, so it needs some TLC. So for the meantime, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go buy a generator, a portable generator, and I bought a Champion one, and it had the RV outlet, a 30 amp one, so I connected the plug into the 30 amp outlet, into the, you know, the portable generator, and then voila, all the outlets had electricity. You know, everything was working inside the RV. So that's how you handle that. So yeah, that's something that I forgot to mention in the last video. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention too is this. So like I said, I was saying in the other video, you know, the motor battery is just responsible for the motor, right? And then there's additional batteries that is responsible for the amenities, you know, the lights, the fans, the control panel right here, the water pump for the water system, the microwave and everything. So it's very important to make it livable, you know, those second set of batteries. And then the generator is responsible for the power outlets, this one, that one, and the many more outlets that's inside your RV. Okay, but how do you turn on the lights though? You can't just, like right here for example, you can't just turn them on. See, nothing happens. Why? Because even though I already have the additional set of batteries that's in charge of the amenities, you're supposed to still press a button to activate, you know, those batteries. Because right now you could pretty much say that those batteries are just on standby, they're deactivated, it's not being used. So I gotta activate it. So pretty much it's right here, like at least you gotta find it wherever it's at in your RV. On mine it's right here. So let me turn on the flashlight. You see right there, it says battery disconnect main and auxiliary. So I press up, like right now you can see all my lights are off right now. So I'm gonna press up. And there you go. Let me go back. So all my lights are now on, you know, including the one in the bathroom. And then, like I said, the water pump, I could turn it on right here. And then I'm gonna want to turn on the water heater if I'm gonna take a shower, so I could be able to warm up the water, and so forth and so forth, you know. And yeah, and then, you know, just since I'm already going into it, I could just finish it off, in case, you know, the other video wasn't seen or whatever. Right here, I'm able to check my battery level, battery charge. It's at 100%. And then my gray tank and my black tank, you know, it's gonna tell me right here whether it's empty or if it's full of shit. And I have to drain it out, like I said in the other video. And yeah, even the LPG tank is my gas tank. That's something that I didn't mention in the other video too. The LPG tank is my stove tank, the propane tank, you know, for my stove. So it could tell me that level too. And then let me see. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's to make it livable. As for since I'm already explaining all this, so the RV, the way if you're living off grid, you're you know, you're not in an RV park hooked up, or anywhere else that you're not hooked up to connections for electricity and water and everything. You're just completely off grid. The way how you do it, you could actually, as long as your RV has a bathroom, a restroom, you can make use of it, you know. Yeah, you could actually make use of it. You just got to make sure that your tanks, your water tanks, are all filled up. That way when you use the toilet, you know, you activate the water pump. That way when you flush, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna disperse water for the toilet, you know. And yeah, and then, you know, the RVs have a built-in tank system underneath the RV. I didn't know that. For the longest, I didn't know that. In the beginning, I was making it hard for myself. So in the beginning, every time I needed to go to the restroom, you know, I would have to go to a restaurant, I would have to go to a store, I would have to go to the gym, and hold it until I would get there. And if it's in the middle of the night, it was worse. I just pretty much, yeah, it was complicated in the beginning, you know, when I didn't know all that stuff. But eventually I found out that the RVs have tanks, the gray tanks, the black tanks, the fresh tank too. I'm not sure exactly what the fresh tank is. I gotta do my research on that. It might be just regular water. I think the fresh tank is the water for the sink and the shower. Makes sense. I think that's what it would be. But yeah, I didn't know that the RVs had tank systems, you know. But they do. They got the gray tank is everything that has to do with the water that you use in the sinks, you know. So that goes with the kitchen sink water and the bathroom sink water. That's all gray system. And then also the shower, you know, when you're taking a shower, that water, it goes into the gray system too. So, and then the black tank is everything that just has to do specifically with the toilet, you know. So when you flush that, you know, toilet water, that goes into the black system. And so yeah, so and then when you go, so what you got to do, you know, if you're off grid, you know, you're free to use your systems. And then depending on how many people are, like me by myself, it takes me like 2 to 3 months until it gets filled up, and then I gotta go drain them. You know, obviously the more people, then the more often you gotta do it. But then you just gotta go to a place where a dump station where you could dump your tanks. You know, you just gotta look it up online. You know, just type RV dump station, and then it'll give you locations. You know, and they all have different fees. For the most part, on average, it's like anywhere from $20 to $45. It's really not expensive. The ones local to me, they're just 20 bucks, and that's so you could drain your tanks, and also so you could refill with water for free. Water is actually free to refill, which is pretty cool. So yes, and then when you go drain, you want to drain the black tank first, and then you want to drain the gray tank. You don't do it the other way around. You gotta, it's first the black tank and then the gray one. If you do it the other way around, that could, it's just troll. Just put it that way. It's not a good thing. It's black first, then gray, and then that's how you do it. And then you got to make sure that the hose, when you're finished draining your tanks, then wash it down with the hoses, both tanks, so you could be sure that they're both rinsed and clean. And don't use that same hose to fill up your tanks system for your dishes and your shower, because that hose is dirty. That's just specifically for cleaning your tanks. You got to use a separate hose to fill in your tanks with water. And then as for that, what else could I explain? That's pretty much it. So I guess at this point I could just show maybe the generator and the RV plug outside. I'm just gonna try to probably just point the camera down, because I don't want people to see that I'm recording. I don't think there's people around, but just any cars that just drive and pass by, I don't want them to see. I just want to explain really quick and show really quick the RV plug that I'm talking about, and maybe show the generator too. I don't think that's really important, but definitely just want to show the RV plug really quick, and then I can end the video right there. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do real quick. Let me just turn off this. All right, let's see. See, that's the water tank system. That's where you refill with water. So I just refilled it. Can't remember where. See, that's how you drain your black and your gray tanks, with that hose. You gotta pull those levers right there. That's the black one, and that's the gray one. So you pull the black one first, and then you pull the gray one. And this is the connection, the RV plug, the 30 amp. So I disconnect it, and then I plug it into an external portable generator. If I'm not going to use my built-in RV generator, then I disconnect it and I plug it into an external portable generator with the 30 amp outlet. And so you can see it's huge. It's not like a little small regular one. And then the generator's right here. I just got to open this and it's right there, but I don't really want to show that. And that's it. Now you know how to live inside an RV. Now you know how to boondock. Now you know how to go camping. Now you know how to thrive in an RV. Hopefully that's helpful. And I think I pretty much reviewed everything that I think needed to be spoken about, that I didn't mention in the other video. I did mention, the battery. The battery. So yeah, anyways, I already said it. One in the front, and you just got to find a spot where your additional batteries are at. Just remember that the RV has more than one battery, and that's because one of them is for the motor, specifically just the motor, and the other one's for the amenities, but yeah, and I would suggest to replace it, the amenities one. My recommendation is to replace that for a lithium iron phosphate battery. Instead of a regular AMG battery or lead acid battery, replace it with the, like I said, lithium iron phosphate one, because those are the most durable, those are the most solid. Those are the most reliable and long lasting. Yeah, so that's my recommendation. Other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, what else could I say? You know, call me Jose. No, actually, no, it's not. That wasn't a good joke. My name is Gio. But all right, peace out. Y'all have a good day. Peace.